Hey everyone. In this video, I'm going to go over the LogikAI DeltaRider. The LogikAI DeltaRider and RenkoRider are essentially, they're very similar strategies. They both rely on the specific logic bar types, DeltaRider being on the DeltaRenko and RenkoRider being on the UltimateRenko. The main difference between the two is the algorithm that determines the signal to enter, and then the rest of the framework is the same between the two of them. That is where the stop is calculated, how the targets are generated, and how the trail is done as well. So I'm going to pull up the DeltaRider on the NQ, and I'm going to go over the settings here. I'm going to start without AI and just talk about the general setup and best practices. Whenever I utilize this, and I use this strategy in my own trading, I will typically run it over when the market is open. So I'm in Eastern Standard Time, so that is between 9:30 and 4 o'clock in the evening. All right, I'm just going to leave it like this for now, even though we may find that the system does better at a specific time span in between these two times. We're going to start with it like this so we can drill down the best time to trade, and we're going to use all the data to train this AI algorithm. Okay. So to start, I have my AI function set to training mode, and as I scroll down, and I'll go over some more different options here, but I have all the days of the week that I'm going to trade, Monday through Friday. I'm not going to go over all the details of this because we're not using it. For trade direction, I just have it set to both. The offset of the stop that's calculated is in ticks. I always just do 1 tick offset, and then I have my quantity 1, 2, and 3, and this profit target 1, 2, and 3 is the percentage of the stop loss that you want to have for your target. So right now it's a 3 to 1 essentially. We'll leave this as it is now, and I'll go over some more of these features here as we go on. And as you go further down, I have entry options down here, and I'll get to the break even and the trail when we have some other, when we're doing multiple contracts. But I have this set up to enter intrabar, meaning before these bars complete. For this demonstration, I'll have required trend disabled. Required trend basically means that you are using the bar color as the direction of the trend, because these bars hold on to the trend well. I'm going to disable that, and the signal pattern is I'm using market efficiency zone. Now, this is where your entry is calculated from. I have market efficiency zone, engulfing, and 3, which just stands for it's a 3-candle pattern. For the NQ, I like to use this on a 1 minute. It's actually a 1 delta time. So I'm going to leave this at 1 here. And what this means is that intra-bar, if you have this market efficiency zone get set up and broken, you'll have an entry. Okay. If you're finding it, you're getting too many signals, you can move this up to a 5-minute or a 15-minute. You start to get rid of noise as you go higher, but the AI module does a very good job of removing most of the noise, so I'm just going to get as many signals as I can for training purposes. All right. Down here, this global money management, this is if you want to stop after a certain gain is received, made for the day, or lost. There's all these functions down here that I go into details in the documentation. I'm not going to go into them now. And then lower down, I have my exit parameters. If you're still in a position and the bar changes direction, just get out. That's what this option does. I just keep that on. And this win-loss position size management, I don't use this, but if you wanted to martingale and double up your position as you have losses to recoup the wins, you can turn that on. Okay, so this is all set up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run this in a back test, again, from 9:30 to 4 o'clock. And it's going to take a few seconds, and once it finishes, you'll see all the trades taking place, and we're going to go through the stats, and we're going to drill down on the various times that we want to trade. Okay, so that's finished here, right? And I'm just going to zoom in, and you see the strategy does pretty well. This is on an important piece of information that I didn't say in the beginning. You want to have at least 30 days. I like to use 30 days of data for trading purposes, for training purposes, because that gives a nice amount of trades that you can train the AI algorithm with. And so I'm just going to pull up stats, and you can see you're entering intra-bar, you're getting trades intra-bar. This just happened to be, this is January 27, 2026. This system did very well today. And a lot of that is in part because of just, it looks for a quick target and it just rides the trend direction, okay? So here are the stats back 30 days, 195 trades, 81% of them are profitable. My profit factor I'd like to see a little higher, but you can see we have a pretty good data set here, and the system works pretty well on its own without any enhancements, just looking for a short target. So I'm going to just save this for comparison. Take a little snapshot here. Get this out of here. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to train the AI algorithm. So in order to do that, you just hit this button up top that says train. And you're going to see up top it says training AI model. And this is going to go on probably for about 30 seconds. It's going through, what this AI module does is it goes through every trade that takes place at the time of entry. It takes a snapshot of the market, all different indicators, all different measurements of different, whether it be volatility, trend, strength, volume, volume compared to the same time of different days, things like that. It looks through all of those different values and it takes a snapshot of them. And when the trade completes, it saves whether or not that snapshot is a winner or a loser. And then it segregates winning trades from losing trades, and it determines how to look at those snapshots and understand what separates or what makes a trade a winning trade versus what makes a trade a losing trade. And in doing so, we are able to set a probability or a confidence level that is derived from the algorithm to say whether or not you want to take a trade. So if the probability of win is 40%, you're going to pass up on it. If the probability that it's going to be a winner is 80% or better, you're going to take the trade. So something I've done recently is I separate long trades and short trades for the AI training component. And I found that by doing that, you really get a much better ability to predict. Okay, so in here it says my model accuracy for long is 82%. That's very good. For short, it's 86%. That's also very good. So now that we have the models trained, we're going to go ahead and save it. And when you hit the save button up top, you get a recommended name. That's just the symbol, the date, and the time. You can make this whatever you want. Sometimes I like to put like the accuracy behind it, and we're going to save that. Okay, you see the button changes to AI saved, and then we're ready to utilize it for trading. Now, before we utilize it, one thing I like to do is look and see if I can trade better based on trading only during certain times of the day. So I pull up the statistics here. You go to analysis, and then on the drop down of period, you do half hour of day. Now, this system in particular does pretty well throughout the entire day, so you really don't need to cut out times. I guess the one thing I would do is I would just stop at 3:30 instead of 4 o'clock. All right, and you can see the different, up here you could see how much was gained and lost in each time. You could also chop out, let's see, so 9:30, our biggest gains come after, so from 10:30 to 3:30. And you see you have 9:30 to 10, you have a nice gross profit, but you also have a fairly large gross loss. So what we can do is we can either chop out times and say 10:30 to 3:30, or we can run the AI with it as is and see if the AI is able to pull out the losing trades or stop the losing trades during these time periods. Okay, so I'm going to disable the strategy, and I'm going to change this system to enforce this AI model. I'll pick our model file. This is the AI file that we just saved before. And I'm going to say any trade confidence that is less than, I'll just say 60%, I'm going to skip. But any trade confidence that's greater than, I don't know, 85%, I'm going to add a separate another contract to, which we could do that now, or if we want to compare apples to apples, we'll disable that. So this first test is going to be showing just skipping trades if the confidence is below 60%. Okay, now you see this updated graphic here, and you see these numbers pop up, and this is the probability that the trade is going to be a winner versus a loser. And you see if we have a trade that is higher than, well, it's anything above 60%, we're going to take the trade. So I'm trying to just do this quickly so we don't spend too much time. Now we made a net profit of 14.9 compared to before a net profit of 7. So we doubled our profit, and our profit factor jumped up to 3.43. And what this did was this stopped other trades from happening that were a lower probability of winning. Okay, so now if I go to our plot here, we're basically winning throughout the entire day. Okay, the next thing that we can do with this is we can utilize this probability that the trade is going to be a winner in order to increase our position size. So if the confidence that it's going to be a winner is 85% or higher, let's take 2 contracts instead of 1. And we'll do the exact same test. But now we're going to boost the quantity based on high probability trades. Okay, and now you see the total gain is 24,000. Now, of course, it's going to be more because we're putting more money into the market. But you see that brought our profit factor, by position sizing, our profit factor went up even higher, 4.91. So that is what this AI component of it could take a potentially good strategy and make it even better. And the last thing I want to go over is just another feature of the strategy, and I'm going to disable this, and I'm going to just say don't take the trade unless it's higher than 60%. And another feature here is we can have another separate quantity, and we can trail with that quantity. So once target 1 is hit, we're going to move the stop loss to break even, and then we're going to trail this, and this is where the riding of the delta comes in. So I'm going to go ahead and enable this. Oops. Okay, now when we're trailing, you see that here we have an entry, and this is trailing the market. This is showing it's sliding off in the back test just because of the nature of tick data, but you get the idea. This trails, and you're exiting at this price right here once the market comes down and touches. This actually should be displaying here, but since there's multiple bars taking place at the same time, see down here at the clock, you have very, very, very fast bars making place, and since we're using minute based fill, it's just skewing it and showing it over here. But this is indeed right here, and it comes down and touches, actually probably more like here's the low of this bar, so it's like right here. But the whole point I'm trying to show is that the trail trails these bars, and it gets out when there's a slight pullback. So if you have a nice run, you can, in theory, ride this run and get a nice profit on that second contract. So both the DeltaRenko, the DeltaRider and the RenkoRider essentially have all the same components, but just different base algorithm for the signal to take place and for entry. But this seems to be a very powerful strategy, works very well, and this AI component really does a very good job of filtering winning trades from losing trades and really allowing you to bump up the quantity on the winning trades, on the higher probability trades. So I hope you found this helpful. Any questions, please feel free to write to me.